Though I do cook most of my family's meals from scratch most nights of the week, the truth is, and as is true for most people, I don't always feel like cooking dinner every single night. And that is where Instant Pot meal prep has been a game changer for me the last couple of weeks. I'm kicking things off with just a really simple batch of white rice that we can eat as a side or mix into the other Instant Pot meals later in the week. As I am batch prepping in the Instant Pot, my goal is to cook multiple meals without cleaning the Instant Pot. That way I get a week's worth of food and I only have to clean one pot one time. So I'm starting with rice because it's the most bland. Anytime you want to batch prep like this, I recommend cooking recipes in order of flavor. I'll show you examples of this as we move through the video, but for now I'm cooking the white rice and it's just a simple 1-to-1 ratio of rice and water. So it's 1 cup of water per 1 cup of rice and you cook it for just 3 minutes on high, and when it's done, let the pressure naturally release. I've mentioned a lot on YouTube over the last year or so, especially in my monthly Sunday reset videos, that if you're making rice, it's just as easy to make 3 batches as it is to make 1 batch. So if you're making it, go ahead and make a bunch. What I'm doing here is now that the rice is done, I'm putting it on some parchment paper and letting it cool and just leaving it out to dry a little bit. So rice does a little bit better if you let it dry, because then when you put it back into your food, it can reabsorb some of that moisture without getting too mushy. So I'm letting it dry so that way I can put part of it in a bowl to use this week, and then all of that extra that I made I'm going to freeze so we can have it in a week or 2 weeks ahead. But as I mentioned, part of Instant Pot meal prep is reducing the amount of cleanup. So between each of these meals, I am just rinsing out the pot a little bit just to get any bits and pieces out. But the goal here isn't to do any labor-intensive cleaning. As I mentioned earlier, I recommend cooking recipes in order of flavor. So I want to make sure that any starch from the rice or residual flavor from the rice doesn't disrupt the next recipe. I'm making a really simple chicken, veggie, and potato soup, and I don't mind at all if the rice's starches or flavor are in the soup. In fact, it might even make it better. Generally, when you're making a soup like this, I would recommend sauteing the veggies first because it brings out the flavors and it also brings out the sweetness of the vegetables. But sometimes I just don't feel like it. And in the case of something like an Instant Pot meal prep, of course, I do want my food to be good, but my goal here is to really get done as much as I can, as quickly as I can, because most of these recipes I'm trying to get wrapped up before I have to leave to pick up my daughter from preschool. So I think what's really important here is to take the pressure off yourself. If the goal is to get food on the table, just get food on the table in the easiest way possible. I promise you it will be good. Now here I am using chicken thighs. I got a big batch of chicken thighs from Sam's Club and I'm using part of it for this soup. I've been leaning on chicken thighs a lot lately because chicken breast is way too expensive. So it is a much more economical or budget-friendly way to get some protein in your meals. And then I'm just seasoning this with a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic powder. I think maybe I use some thyme and Italian seasoning. You can use whatever you have on hand and that you prefer. And then I remembered at the last minute that I almost forgot the onion. When I was going back and editing this video, I realized that I chopped onion for every single recipe except for the rice. So in hindsight, I probably should have chopped a bunch of onions so that way I had them for all of the meals. And I would recommend doing that if you are meal prepping. Anytime you can chop in advance, it just makes things a lot easier along the way. And then I added about a half a box of chicken broth and then put this in the pressure cooker. Once this was done, I thickened it with a little bit of sourdough starter discard, which I'll show you in just a second, and it worked like a charm. So normally when you thicken a soup, if it's on the stovetop, you would add a little bit of flour and butter and cook it and then add in your broth, or you would make some sort of slurry and pour it in. But sourdough starter is essentially already a slurry. It is a combination of flour and water that has been fermented. So I put this on the saute setting just to bring it to a boil and added a dollop of butter because I live in the South and that's just what we do. And once it came to a boil, I just added in a few spoonfuls of sourdough starter discard straight from the fridge. And you just treat this like you would any other thickener in a soup. Let it come back to a boil, stir it, and as it thickens, remove it from the heat. Now, I ended up putting a little bit too much starter in there and it got pretty thick, but that is a really easy fix. You can just add a little more broth or a little bit more water. And as you can see, it worked like a charm. This is definitely my go-to. Making a slurry is not hard, but putting in sourdough starter is a lot easier. The flavors in this soup are really mild, so next I'm going to make pork chops with a sour cream. I don't know if I want to call it a gravy. It's more akin to like a pan sauce, but those flavors pair nicely together, so I can just simply rinse out the Instant Pot and keep on moving. So as you can see here, I am chopping again another onion, which I should have just chopped earlier, but I'm simply just chopping up some onions and throwing it in the Instant Pot. Now, I mentioned earlier that chicken thighs are a great way to save a little bit of money for meals or grocery shopping, but also so are pork chops. They are really inexpensive, especially in comparison to something like chicken breast, which can be very costly. And as always, I'm seasoning this with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'm adding in the other half of that chicken broth that I used for the soup recipe and some Worcestershire sauce. You could put anything you want in here, but I just really like to keep it simple. One of the things about the Instant Pot that didn't dawn on me until recently is that it has a delayed start feature. So even though I wanted to get these recipes ready to go before I had to leave to pick up my daughter, I did not get it done. So I just set this for an hour delayed start. So that way, while I was out going to get her, it starts, and by the time we came home, it was ready for me to deal with. And even though I know we're talking about meal prep, but for just a regular old weeknight when you don't know what to make and you have to run a couple errands, just throw something in the Instant Pot, use the delayed start feature, go do what you got to do, and come home and eat a freshly cooked meal. So now that the pork chops are ready, I am just taking them out and setting them aside. You could sear them before cooking them, but I'm just keeping things really simple here. So for the sauce that's in the pot, first I'm just bringing it to a boil so it can reduce a little bit. And then I forgot to hit record on my camera, I'm sorry, but I added more sourdough starter, and then I also added some Greek yogurt, but you could use sour cream, and just let it reduce a little bit until it thickens. I wasn't really going for a gravy here. I wanted more of a sauce for this. And then I am storing the pork chops and the sauce in the container together because that will help keep that pork chop really nice and tender and delicious as it sits in the fridge for a few days. And then we ate this with some of that Instant Pot rice that we made together in the beginning of the video, and it is so good. But now I want to mix up the flavors. So the last two recipes I have, one is Instant Pot spaghetti and one is Instant Pot barbecue chicken thighs. I'm making the spaghetti first because I don't think spaghetti will disrupt the flavor of barbecue chicken thighs, but I do think if I did the inverse, the barbecue would not taste good if it got mixed in with the spaghetti. So Instant Pot spaghetti is one of my all-time favorites. I know it is not hard to make spaghetti on the stovetop, but it's easier and tastes better in the Instant Pot. So you simply just brown some ground beef, throw in a little bit of onion, and then put in a box of spaghetti noodles, one 24-ounce jar of spaghetti sauce, and then I refill that jar with water and add it right into the Instant Pot. So I use about a jar and a half, and then I top it off a little bit if I need to, just to make sure those noodles are covered with water. You don't want them totally drowning in water, but you do want to make sure that they are mostly covered in the sauce and water. And then you can season this however you want. I actually forgot to season mine. My daughter spilled her water and I just totally forgot to put seasoning in it, but it was still delicious. And then you just simply cook this on high for 8 minutes. When you open it, it will look a little bit watery and uncooked, but if you stir it up, it is so delicious. And the noodles, they cook in the sauce and with the meat and the water, and they really take on all of those flavors. And I personally think this is the best way to make spaghetti. Normally, I would have added a little bit of salt, a little pepper, a little Italian seasoning, a pinch of sugar, and just a splash or two of red wine vinegar, and that really makes spaghetti next level. So, but again, you can season it however you want, but it will take on all the flavors you add. So do all the things that you love in spaghetti in Instant Pot spaghetti. Last up is barbecue chicken thighs, and I'm saving this for last because it has the most potent flavors. So I don't want that seasoning anything else that I'm making. And even though I just made spaghetti, which does have a pretty bold flavor and isn't really related to barbecue sauce flavor so much, it isn't enough for it to really creep through that barbecue flavor, so it works out totally fine. To make this, I'm just throwing in some sliced onion and whatever chicken thighs I had left in the fridge. And then I'm adding in some water and barbecue sauce. When I cook like this, I'm not always the best at measuring. That was probably about a cup of water, and I'd say about a half a cup of barbecue sauce. It really doesn't matter. What we're going for here is to have a cup of water in there so that way the pressure cooker can pressurize. And then probably about a half a cup or so of barbecue sauce, or maybe even a teriyaki sauce, whatever it is that you have that you want to use in there, just to flavor the chicken thighs as they cook. And I just kept things really simple with a little bit of salt and some garlic powder. I cooked these on high for 8 minutes. The last time I made these, I did 10 minutes and they were like full apart tender and delicious. But with 8 minutes, they actually stayed together. So it's really a matter of which you prefer. Now, while the Instant Pot was depressurizing, I warmed up the broiler. So with these barbecue chicken thighs, I want that nice sticky glaze on top. So I'm taking them out of the Instant Pot and putting them on a baking sheet. And then I'm topping them with a little bit of barbecue sauce and putting them underneath the broiler just for a couple of minutes. Keep an eye on it. You don't want that barbecue sauce to burn, but you do want it to caramelize and get a little bubbly. And these are so good. Cooking them in the water in the Instant Pot renders out a lot of that fat. So they are so tender and delicious. And we ate this with the white rice from the beginning of the video. And of course, they'd be great if you have any vegetables left over or if you have some veggies that you can roast up for a nice, healthy side. These meals were so easy and so delicious, and after just a few hours of cooking the Instant Pot, which is basically hands off, I have a full week's worth of meals. If you found this video inspiring or helpful, don't forget to subscribe and to hit the like button. And to stay in the know of all the Moon and Magnolia happenings, don't forget to join the email list. When you do, I will send you links to all my videos, blog posts, recipes, tutorials, and more. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you again next time.